Hello everyone. Today in this module we are going to talk about population features. The tendency of a living organism is to live together in the most suitable habitat, and this forms the basic of population dynamics. Population ecology, we are going to talk about the properties of population, population growth and regulation. These studies are very important in understanding the population's performance and status. Population ecology also gives us an idea to plan for conservation strategies also. The learning objectives of this module are introduction, types of population, features of population, size and density, dispersion, spatial distribution, temporal distribution and dispersal. A population is a group of organisms of the same species occupying a particular space at the same time. Population ecology is very important for planning conservation strategies. The types of population. Populations are unitary. Individuals are easily defined, such as in most animals and many plants. Or it can be modular, that is, the individual is difficult to define and may consist of many smaller units, for example, genetically identical clumps of trees arising from root suckers, typical of many plant species or colonial organisms. Types of population. Organisms which make the population may be unitary or modular depending on their reproductive pattern, and thus populations are of two types. Unitary population. In such populations, each individual are derived from zygote and thus are outcome of sexual reproduction. Identification and distinction of each individual of these population is very easy. Moreover, the growth of these individuals is determinate and predictable. Most of the animal populations are unitary populations. For example, in a population of sheep, it is very easy to identify and distinguish a sheep on the basis of its fixed morphological features like two legs, one head, 2 ears, its fur, etc. And irrespective of age, these features are constant and determinate. The other kind of population is modular populations. In these populations, single or few individuals arise from zygote and then produce other individuals or modules by asexual means. Individuals of these populations exhibit variation in their morphological features. Plants and few animal groups like sponges and corals are example of modular population. Features of population. A population is a group of interbreeding individuals, and thus the properties of a population are assessed as of a group rather than that of an individual. These properties include size and density, crude density, ecological density. Population size depends upon the geographical area and is the total number of individuals in that population. Density, the number of organisms occupying a defined unit of space, for example, number per hectare, acre is known as density. Density are two types. Crude density is the number of individuals per unit area, and ecological density is the number of individuals of the same species per unit area or volume that is used by the species. Though ecological density is rarely estimated because it is difficult to determine what portion of a habitat exhibits living space. Ecological density is a more accurate descriptor of the population density of a species. Dispersion. It is defined as the placement of individuals and groups of individuals within the habitat they occupy and the process by which this is brought about. Dispersion includes species distribution as well as dispersal movements. Species distribution or dispersion is the pattern of distribution of individuals in a population over space and time, that is temporal. Habitats consist of a spatial temporal mosaic of many different elements. exact locations of an individual is a major determinant of its immediate fitness. Spatial distribution. It is distribution of individuals over a geographical area and can occur in three patterns. First is random distribution. A random distribution means position of each individual of a population is independent of the other and chances of occurrences of the individuals is anywhere in the given area and spacing between two individuals is unpredictable. This type of dispersion is rare in nature. It can occur only where the environment is uniformly consistent and there is no strong attraction or repulsion among individuals of a population. Seed dispersal through wind may result in random distribution as chances of seed germination and seedling establishment are anywhere. Next is the uniform distribution or regular distribution. In uniform distribution, individuals are equidistinctly distributed. It generally occurs because of intraspecific competition. This competition may be for space or for a resource such as moisture or nutrients. For example, trees in a forest are spaced in a way that their canopies do not overlap above ground and the roots do not overlap below ground. Regular distribution may also occur because of allelopathy, the phenomena in which toxic exudates released from an individual do not allow the individual of the same or different species to grow near them. When the inhibition is towards same species, it is known as autotoxicity. Alfalfa exhibits phenomena of autotoxicity. Other examples of allelopathy is black walnut. Roots of black walnut produce a substance known as juglone, which does not allow many plants such as tomato, potato, blueberry to grow within the root zone of this tree. The third kind of dispersion is clumped distribution. In this type of distribution, the individuals of a species are grouped in forms of patches or clumps. This distribution is also known as clustered, contagious, or aggregated. It is the most common type of dispersion found in nature. It occurs because of common requirements of an organism which are fulfilled at a common place or patch. It is distinctly visible in plant populations. Aggregation in plants is affected by their propagative nature and their specific environmental requirements. Animal populations also show clump distribution because of their reproductive pattern and social behavior. Cooperation, resource partitioning or protection also adds to clumped distribution pattern. Clumping or aggregation increases group survival value. Clump distribution can again be random, uniform or clumped. In this slide, we can see the distribution patterns of individuals in population. The first picture shows an individual has an equal probability of occurring anywhere in an area. So, this is the random distribution pattern. The next is the regular distribution pattern where individuals are uniformly placed through the environment. The third is clumped. Individuals live in areas of high local abundance which are separated by areas of low abundance. The temporal distribution. The temporal distribution deals with patterns of population distribution over time. The scale of time may be a day, a season, a year or so on. Some examples of temporal distribution are the circadian movements of plankton, change in type of blooming flowers in an area and visit and return of migratory birds. These examples clearly indicate that status of population at a place changes with time. Next, we will be talking about dispersal. Dispersal includes movements of individuals or their offsprings or propagules away from their originally occupied area to a new habitat. It is movement of organism beyond its distribution limit. Most of the organisms follow this process at some stage of their life. The process is important for their survival, growth and reproduction. It also helps in widening the distribution range of these species as it leads to colonization of new areas. Lack of dispersal among populations impacts a species over a long time. If the species does not spread to newer areas, chances of it becoming endemic rises. It is fundamental process of biogeography. Dispersal, along with its natality and mortality, regulates population growth and plays an important role in evolution through mixing of genes between populations. Successful dispersal depends on long distance transport, withstanding unfavorable conditions during travel, and upon early arrival and establishment a viable population. The distribution of species is ruled by Shelford's law of tolerance, according to which the presence and then the success of an organism depend on the completeness of a complex of conditions. Each organism, whether the individual or the species population, is subject to an ecological minimum, maximum and optimum for any specific environmental factor or complex of factors. The range from minimum to maximum represents the limits of tolerance for the factor or complex. Efficient dispersal and successful establishment decide the geographical distribution of species, consequently putting them into category of rare, endemic or ubiquitous species. In this slide, we can see the tolerance limits for species distribution. We can see the gradient from low to higher and the populations on the y-axis from low to high. We can see this curve shows the area of greatest abundance. Dispersal movements. Movements of organisms or their propagules involves different ways like immigration, movement of new ones into a population leading to increase in population size, immigration, movement of offsprings out of a population leading to decrease in population size, and migration, periodic movement into or out of a population leading to temporary fluctuations in population size. We will be talking about dispersal mechanisms. There are two types of active dispersal and passive dispersal. Active dispersal is observed in mobile animals which have potential capacity to move to distinct places. The degree of dispersal varies with species as well as with age within a species. These animals are known as vagile animals. Strong flyers, like many species of birds, bats and large insects and large aquatic animals, are examples of such vagile animals. The monarch butterfly exhibits an ideal example of active dispersal. It is a highly vagile insect capable of flying hundreds to thousands of kilometers, moving from North to South America in different seasons. In its journey, it reproduces and the returning individuals are new offsprings. Passive dispersal. Plants and animal groups like corals are not mobile and their dispersal is through their propagules. These propagules in turn are dispersed by specific dispersal agents like wind, water and other animals. Such a dispersal is known as passive dispersal and the organisms are known as pagile. Plants disperse through their fruits, seeds, spores, etc. Special modifications are observed in these propagules which help them to successfully disseminate via respective agent. Dispersal of winged fruit by wind and of hooked or sticky seed via other animals are examples of this phenomenon, which is known as passive dispersal. The major factors that influence dispersion patterns of population are edaphic and climatic features of the habitat, impact of intra and interspecific competition, reproductive pattern of the population, the social behavior of species and dispersal movements. Barriers to dispersion. Limitations are imposed on dispersal of a species by various types of barriers. There are physical barriers like drastic change in nature of habitat, for example land to water, physiological barriers like change in temperature, range to which a species is not accustomed, or anthropogenic barriers like construction of buildings, roads, etc., which block the dispersal. Successful dispersal depends on efficient transport and successful establishment. These barriers modify the level of dispersal and consequently exert effects on population dynamics and genetic structure. To summarize this module, we can say that in this module we have studied the different types of population and the different features of a population. For example, the size and density. What is regulating the size and density of a population, like the dispersion and the dispersal patterns. These studies are very important in order to understand the conservation strategies of a particular population in a certain community. Thank you.